Well, we'd like to thank y'all for coming out to Black and Nobel once again for Professor Griff. Today we are promoting the Psychological War on Hip-Hop, his new long-anticipated rated book that will only be available here through the Black and Nobel channel, whether it's blackandnobel.com or coming in here to the store, you know, however you want to get it. It's going to be right here and right here. So we asked him to come up to do a book signing, and in Griff fashion, he's going to give a lecture as well to go along with the book signing. This was an unexpected lecture, but we appreciate the fact that he likes to take the time to make sure that we're all on point at any point in time that he comes. You know, we always appreciate it when it happens. So I'm going to turn the floor over to Professor Griff.
Divine name is supreme being. I want to greet everyone with a civilized greeting. Peace, hotep, salam alaikum, shalom, whatever beautiful greeting that you go by. In keeping with tradition, just to remind y'all, I'm going to be real quick. I'm not going to draw the lecture out. And like he said, I'm going to try to go from cover to cover. And I'm going to dive into some things that you probably haven't seen in other lectures or stuff on YouTube. And some of the stuff may sound familiar to you. So I'm going to dive into some things, especially the covenant, pinpointing some things that some artists are doing out there. And there's one or two things I added to this particular talk that's not in the book, and I will point that out because I don't want you to think that once you see that, you're going to purchase the book thinking that that particular thing is in the book. So I'll point those things out that are not in the book. But in keeping with tradition, let's give the brothers here at Black and Nobel a round of applause. I don't know if you've seen the other stuff that me and Umar Abdullah Johnson did here. That one DVD is traveling around the globe. It's hard to keep up with it. I go into certain places and they like, is Umar with you? I'm like, who? So that's just the day and time in which we live. Technology, the medium of the vibration, I guess, of the internet and how fast and quick we get information. It's hard for us to even keep up with it. So the brother said he only got 40 minutes, probably 37 now. So we're gonna get in as much as we can get in. But in keeping with tradition, I need everyone to kind of stand up and greet someone. Since we're gonna spend the next few minutes here together, greet someone. Watch the baby now. Everybody greet someone. Find someone to greet.
How you doing? Hi. How you doing, good brother? How you doing? How you doing? Islam. Leslie. Oh, I got you. How you doing, good brother? Hi, everybody in the back.
All right.
Hey, everybody in the front. That's that sister with that book. That book is good.
All right. Well, just for the 35 minutes that we have left on film, but I will be a little bit longer. Just a few footnotes about the book. This is the last stage that you're probably going to see the book in. And first time the book came out, which was a month ago. When was the anniversary of the Million Man March? When Minister Farrakhan was here recently. I had a shipment of 40, 50 books. I sold them that day. And the book was 200 pages. Now the book is 256 pages. I revamped it, getting feedback from y'all. How come you didn't talk about this, and how come you didn't put that in there? So in the phone calls and having a conversation with this brother and other people around the country, I kind of revamped it. I'm glad I did, simply because when I first started out, the book was really only 150 pages long, and the book was completed. It was in my in my desktop, but my house burned down, and I lost the entire book, and 90% of everything I owned. So I went through that trial, revamped it. It ended up being 200 pages, and feedback from the people ended up being 256 pages. I never intended for it to be a workbook, but Patrick Muhammad, the brother that printed the book, actually did me a favor because it sends a subliminal message to you to know that if you purchase the book, you got some damn work to do.
That's right.
You following me?
That's right.
And as Black Dot say, just kind of use this as a reference point. I sold it to a brother last night. I was participating in an ascension ceremony, and the brother seen it under my arm. And the brother said, look, I'm not trying to be nosy, but like, what is that? And he bought it out of my hand. So and the brother, he said, yeah, this is a teaching tool. He said, young people, 13, I talked to a 12-year-old the other day that got permission from his parents to call me and ask me questions about the Illuminati. So that's the kind of stuff I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And in dealing with that particular point, 12 and 13-year-olds calling me, I mean, I don't mind. But the first question I asked is like, where's your mom and dad? Do they know you calling me?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? As a result of talking to young people, when I revamped it, I ended up putting 700 images. I did that for a reason, simply because, you know, a lot of times, and I often talk about one of the chapters in the Holy Quran where it talks about lip service. And we talk about the internet gangsters and the cyber thugs. That they don't have anything to contribute, but they like to talk ish. You understand what I'm saying? And condemn you for what you do when you out trying to raise the conscious level of the people.
Right.
They was basically saying, I read some of them, which I really don't do. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not really into reading what people have to say about me, good or bad, on YouTube or Facebook. But hell, when your daughter bring it to you, you understand what I'm saying? I gotta read some of it. So as I'm reading some of these things, and it's like, okay, here we go, 250-something pages of Professor Griff's opinion. I said, stop right there. This is not my opinion. Look up the word, what opinion means. This is actual facts. And the way I put it together with using some of the illustrations and combing through over 165 different articles that I've read about hip-hop written by people outside of hip-hop. So I'm like, if this is how they're viewing hip-hop, and we on the interior of hip-hop taking cues from those that are on the periphery of hip-hop, I'm like, wow, somebody need to speak to this and get the record straight. So I had to clear it up with the 12-year-old and let her know, him and her, let them know that Jay-Z, Rihanna, Beyonce, Kanye West, they are not part of the Illuminati.
Right.
I'm going to say that again so you can get it real clear. Because when you start believing madness like that, then it takes the weight off the people who are a part of the Illuminati. Are you following me? So we need to kind of clear that up. They're being used as tools and agents by the Illuminati. All right? So when we even go into defining the term, which we're going to do, we need you to understand that particular point. I wanted to go into some current events just for the film's sake, because a lot of times when you watch something like this, if I don't say something to let people know what day and time we're living in by setting a mile marker, like we could mention anything about the occupiers. We could talk about your man, what's his name, Herman Cain, who if they bring up one more white woman who he done messed around with on the screen, it's like I'm hoping they said, well, okay, somebody else came forth, and I'm hoping like maybe it's a sister this time. But nah. But what baffles my brain is if she was getting down with him, because we don't really know how they was getting down, right or wrong.
Right.
If he was getting down with her and she was getting down with him for the last 13 years, why all of a sudden you coming out now? You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying the brother's right or wrong. That's his damn business.
Right.
Are you following me? We're not going to get wrapped up into that. But I'm saying.
Wow.
But I'm saying. Why now?
Right.
That's just my only question. And if we can answer that question, then maybe I would respect her claim.
Right.
It's like why are you doing this? So we came to figure out that probably the opposition is pulling these people out of the woodwork and paying them under the table, offering them book deals and all the other things they offer these kind of agents and stool pigeons. Are you following me? Now that we're talking about stool pigeons and agents, can you just take the camera and comb, if you just get their faces? Because I know somebody in this room right now is an agent, so we just need to kind of get their faces. In case something go down. Find somebody that know your ass so we can knock on your door a little bit. I'm serious, man, because, time out, for later on, after this go down, you see some scuffling. Somebody knock him over and take the tape out and run out the door. Professor Griff laying over here bleeding. You understand what I'm saying? Today in Philly, Professor Griff gets shot. You understand what I'm saying? No. Anyway, we're not going to get into that.
Oh,
So,
that's right.
let's dive into the book. Just from the rip, I want to say that the term psychology, and we just kind of need to release just for a brief second in your own kind of way. I don't want to say take a deep breath. I don't want to say light a L or twist something open. However you want to just kind of just release. Can you just release these other people's vibration, their spirit, their thought that they've put in you via education, religion, however they got it in you? I think the scripture says, come out of her, my people, and be not partakers of her sins. Let's just release ourselves for a few minutes of the madness that they taught you, so you can approach this in a holistic. Bro, how you doing, man? Was that you out there blasting away a minute ago? Okay, give thanks, man.
Much love too, man. Been following you for years.
Oh, give thanks. I'm feeling what you're saying, though. All right, cool. Yeah, just kind of release it for a second. The reason why I say that is because if you approach this with the mind that they gave you, and you're looking at it through the distorted lens of your open enemy, then you're not going to understand this. If you're looking at this like Professor Griff is just talking about rappers and that kind of thing, then you're not going to approach this in such a way where you're able to extract what you need to extract from it and walk away with something. Are you following me?
Yeah.
So you might have to just kind of release the madness in order to even approach it. All right? Psychology or psychological. All right? The root word of psychological is the psyche. The Western world teaches us that psychology is the study of the mind, which is not correct. I'm not saying it's not correct according to what they teach you at Temple and some of these other universities and colleges. I'm saying to you from the point of reference that we as a highly melanated people are coming from. The term psyche is the soul.
Yes.
And even if you go to the depth of what they teach you and what they stole from us, you'll figure out the word psyche is the soul. So if you're talking about biology, which is the study of the soul, then what are we actually talking about? We're not talking about the mind. They have volumes and volumes and volumes of books which manifest into techniques that they use, right here in back of me, that they use to create mind assassins, to create Manchurian candidates. Are you following me? They manifest into techniques that they use to make mind manipulation. These techniques that they use are very, very old. All right, so we have to understand something. Nothing that comes through the hands of our open enemy, by the time we get it, is organic. All right, we have to keep this particular thing in mind. All right, so psychology, the study of the soul. Covert means hidden, under the table. All right, behind the scenes, not seen, especially with the two physical eyes. We might have to develop our third eye and to understand the war that is going on. And this particular war is on hip-hop, and hip-hop is higher infinite power healing our people. Once again, higher infinite power healing our people. We've always used the vibration of hip-hop and the four fundamental elements that it stands on, all right, to correct any issue that we've ever had. We've always used the vibratory frequency in positive music to heal. Physically heal. Right now, if you took 6 to 2, 3 year, 4 year drumming classes on the continent, they'll teach you certain patterns can heal certain things in the body. All right? Certain sound vibrations can cause you to go to war. My father was a Blackfoot Native American. I used to tell the stories on how they used to get together and literally make it rain. Vibration of the Om. All right, tapping into the Akashic records and these kind of things. We're able to go in to different forces of nature and do what we will. We just that beautiful and that powerful. But you see, we don't think that now. A lot of us think that we're sitting on top of things because we have our open enemies education. Can you imagine this? I'm digressing for a minute. Can you imagine you a beautiful butterfly? You've been captured in Africa and put in a hole of a ship. dragged to America 9,000 miles, all right, and went through an enslavement process which robbed you of your name, language, culture, God, religion, everything. Then you come through their hands to 2011, and they've made you the perfect representation of what a crab actually looks like with nappy hair. And now you got a crab theology, crab religion, crab education, and we think we've arrived. So when someone come and say, no, you were a beautiful butterfly at one time, and I can show you pictures, and I can show you people that have written books on what we used to be, and that what we used to be is right down in you. So what I'm trying to do today is to bring it out of you, to reintroduce you to you. Are you following me? Yes. Some people will fight me tooth and nail, and you try to convince them that they were beautiful butterflies. And even when they're almost convinced, they'll fight you tooth and nail because they still want the straight hair. They still want to live the lifestyle of their open enemy. And we're not crabs, brothers and sisters. We are beautiful butterflies, waiting to blossom. Now, the methodology of Professor Griff may be different than yours, or the brother back here. All right? He may feel that he got to stand out on the corner and yell it, and most times we do. Because our people are just not listening.
Right.
Are you following? So we have to understand this particular thing. So don't get caught up after about 20 minutes. My voice is going to get raspy. I might get a little emotional, so I pound it on the table, but don't worry about it. You're going to be all right. As Khalid Muhammad said, just sit up, fan yourself, and sit your ass back down. You're going to be all right. All right? So the vibrational frequency and the four fundamental elements that it stands on, hip-hop is high infinite power, healing our people. I wanted to talk about Stan the white man, but we can't get into Stan this shit. One of the questions that I asked myself when I first started the journey was, are rappers the new target of the American criminal justice system? Obviously, we are. There's over 2 million people in prison. All right? There's no other place that matches America with incarcerating black people, South Africa and Brazil. All right? So what they would probably want more so than putting you in jail and having to finance the prison industrial complex, which a lot of the prisons now are privatized. Let me tell y'all something. I sat at the Democratic National Convention. Please don't ask me why I was there. What's the brother's name that's on the radio? Not Michael Baisden. One of the other. One of them. It'll come to me. I sat with him, and we were in a room watching black people ask questions on how do they invest in getting shares in owning private prisons. Floored me. That's like you in a meeting asking your open enemy, how could you invest your money to own private prisons, to incarcerate your own people?
Wow.
That just shows you the mindset of where we are as a people. I just said this the other night to a sister. I said, you know something? My heart was pounding. She's like, what's wrong with you? I'm just saying, I'm really thinking deep about this. I says, before this whole thing is over, we're going to have to kill some of our own people.
You ain't never lied.
No, I'm not just saying that to scare you. I'm not trying to sound tough.
It's the truth.
I got on some nice smelling oil. I'm not trying to sound tough. I'm serious, man. Somebody would smell me and be like, he can't threaten you. He smells too nice. But I'm saying, really, when you really come to think about it, Bobby Wright was correct. He says, by the time this whole thing is over, we have to rethink the whole idea of not only shedding the enemy's blood, but our own. Family members will fight you tooth and nail before you stick the flag of liberation in the ground and say, this is ours, and we're going to protect this at any and all costs. When I say this, I mean our children, sisters. Are you following me? Something that we can call our own. All right? I believe I heard you say a few minutes ago about even if they close, when the stuff go down and the supermarkets close, what makes y'all think that Wendy's and Murder King and Drunken Donuts and Toxic Hell, Dairy Queen, some of these places are going to be open? They're going to shut them things down. The food is the first thing that's going to go. Right or wrong? We don't own land. I heard you say, where you going to grow the food to eat? You don't own any land. Your fight is going to be right out here in the street, right on Broad.
Shedding blood.
And in most cases, we got to shed the blood of our own people. I don't want to belabor that particular point. My good brother, Dr. Reverend Phil Valentine, said this is dedicated to those that are dedicated. That is one line, but it's a powerful line. I'm not just speaking just for speaking's sake. All right? There's other things that we could be doing at Black and Nobel. Are you following me? I'm saying this is dedicated to all those that are dedicated. Now, how do we know that you're dedicated? Way back in the day coming up, I knew who the leader was in the community. Why? Hell, I seen him lead.
Right.
He wasn't on TV. He didn't have big billboards with big ads talking about something that I know he don't know what he's talking about. He was in the black community leading us. All right? And we used the church as a bedrock, a place where we could go and get some kind of answers. The youth center had classes. Someplace we can go. Now, where could you go? Honestly, where could you go? You may not accept the white Jesus anymore. You may have taken them down off your wall, so your mama and your grandmother's rejecting you. All right? There's homosexuality and pedophilia going on at every school that I've ever been to, on college campuses, at the church. So now we got to protect the children. Where can we go? There's no institution in the black community that we can look at and say, okay, at least if anything went down, I could go there. Stop that. Where? That goes to show you we have to build these particular institutions. Now, I'm saying to you as adults, if you're having that problem, imagine what the hell the children are saying. Where can they go? Are you following me? Of course, I had to acknowledge everyone over the last 7 years that I've been talking about this particular subject. I had to say something to them about them. Chuck D, Jason Orr, Rudy, just a few other people that helped me get to this particular point. Dr. Martin Luther King said, all this stuff is actually in the book, all right? Dr. Martin Luther King said, in the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Very powerful statement. That's what's going on right now in my particular sojourn. We're trying to reach the masses of the people, all right? For the umpteenth time, if you ever heard anything about Public Enemy, I was doing this before Public Enemy, all right? During Public Enemy, even when the brothers kicked me out of the group, I was still blazing the trail. You never heard me come and diss the brothers with diss songs and that kind of thing. Right. I didn't go shoot up the studio, threaten Flavor or Chuck. Are you following me? Yeah. I stayed on the path.
That's right.
Because the whole Public Enemy thing was not about me. It's not even about them. Right. It's become an institution that's a lot larger than all of us. By a show of hands, how many people have ever been a part of something that's a lot larger than you? Then you know what I'm going through. Giving birth to something and you're watching it grow and you see it go off track and you try to pull it back on the straight path is a very difficult thing when you have to deal with the Flavor Flavs of the world. All right, I don't mind him saying this, he understands. All right, so we have to understand it. You got family members that you can't stand to see at the family reunion, right or wrong. When you see him, you're like, oh, God. You bring his wife, oh, both of them in here. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
So just like those family members I have in Public Enemy, outside of Public Enemy, we just have to deal with them. Pull them on the coat, pull them aside, help them stay on the straight path. All right? Big up to my man Black Dot. Last time I was here, I made a statement about Black Dot knocking on my coffin when I was in the grave inside of the music industry. When I say that, I don't want y'all to think I was horizontal. I was just dead mentally. I wasn't. I was in the music industry. I'm yelling, warning people what's going on, but no one was hearing me. Are you following? You ever those new light switches? You know the kind in your house now that you can turn up and you can turn the light up slow. Well, we don't need one of those. We need the one that you just turn on. You understand what I'm saying? Because we need to wake people up right now. Are you following me? Yes. So I often ask people if right now, if we got locked into this building and everyone fell asleep and Professor Griff was the first one to wake up because I smelled smoke, would you care how I woke you up? No, let's be really real. No. Would you care how I woke you up? Long as your ass got up and we got out. Right. Then once we get outside, you can say, oh, why are you waiting like that? Then we can talk about it. But until we get out, right, we have to we can have the dialogue outside. And right now, I'm yelling and yet letting people know, look, it's coming. I see it coming. I see it coming. My other book, Analytics, which I just dropped off 9 copies. The reason why I said it's an interview, because rather than me talking to you, I'd rather you stand next to me so you can see what I'm seeing. Are you following me? I want you to enter my view. All right? I see it coming. All right? This brother's out on the corner speaking scripture. It's obvious that he sees something that we don't see, that he's letting us know, look, in a minute down the road, we're going to have some terrible times that's going to come. I'm just warning you right now and preparing you so by the time you get there, you won't be surprised.
Right.
All right? Okay. The format in which I put the book together is definitely on a hip-hop vibe. It's not written like a scholastic work that you may see. It's not that traditional kind of stuff. Hell, when you got 12 and 13-year-olds calling you, you got to go back and revamp some things because I'm trying to speak to them on their level. I'm 51. My daughter's 13. How do I talk to her? All right? I might have to let her discover the whole Nicki Minaj thing, and then once I see her resonating with it, now's my time. Let me step in and say, come here for a second, let me talk to you. Check this out. This is what this is. This is what that means. Now I'm equipping her to make her own decision. Now I ain't got a browbeat her. Are you following me? That's why I think the brother said this is a teaching tool. I had to go into the scripture. Elijah Muhammad basically asked us to go out and to get our people. And he left us a picture of us raising the black man from a dead level to a living perpendicular. All right? Not to say that we should all have on FOI uniforms or suits, but I'm saying I gotta wear the uniform of the day. If I was in the hood, I wouldn't be dressed like this. I have to go looking like them to speak their language. Are you following me? Because they see you coming. They know you're not from around here, especially dressed like that. Are you following me? Yeah. That's a very valuable point that y'all need to tuck away. Because sometimes we go to them, all right, and of course we have to set a clean example, but sometimes we go to them and we don't even get a chance to talk to them because we're not operating on their level. They know you different. Are you following me? Now, don't get me wrong now. I'm not saying go light L's with them.
I know that's right.
And crack open something. I'm not saying that.
That's right.
All right, I'm just saying. All right. We're not going to talk about introduction. We might have to talk about the introduction 1 second because I labeled the theology of the mind controlled by the study of the psyche free. What I mean by that is ology, I explained earlier, is the study of a mind, not only a mind, but a mind that's not controlled. Right. Versus the study of our soul being free. So at the end of this particular introduction, I want you to understand that the ultimate purpose of introducing you to the psychological covert war is to free your soul. Nothing else. The methodology in which I use, how you feel?
He's going to do some signing.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, so understand, I'm not going over what you've seen on YouTube. I had to go even behind the scenes of the stuff that you've seen on YouTube, all right, to explain to you how they're pulling off this particular covert war. We understand already there's a war going on, but how are they pulling it off, all right? The war, I'm gonna let y'all know, the war is not being waged against the souls of black folks, the older black folks like us. They're going after your children, all right? And right now, as we speak, the people watching this and some of the people in this audience, your children are out of control. You don't know what to do with them, all right? And Professor Griff says maybe it's the vibratory frequency inside of the music that's affecting your child's lower chakras. And the reason why that they're going crazy is because the vibration in the music, along with the African traditional vibrations in the drum, with the European word put on top of it, having our children on crazy. What do I mean by that? Recently, Public Enemy, we just did a concert. You're familiar with, was it Travis Porter? No.
Oh, that's right.
Not Nicki Minaj. Trina. Familiar with Trina?
Yes.
Drake.
Yes.
We was on a show with a few more other people. Why Public Enemy was on that show? I don't know. The people that financed the whole show grew up on Public Enemy. White people grew up on Public Enemy's music, and they had to have Public Enemy in the midst of all of the madness. Every group there had strippers. I'm gonna say this again slow. Every group there, I'm talking about butt naked, past the Luke Skywalker thing. So we behind stage, and I'm seeing just half naked chicks walking around. But over here, I'm seeing a hard, straight up, you know, thugs, like from the hood, just like, you know, thugged out type cats. And I'm noticing the dynamic. They were not kicking it to the chicks. And I'm like, so deeper observation, They were with one another.
Right.
I'm like, wow. This is critical because what's bringing this particular thing about? See, there's a war going on, and one aspect, one battle of the war is not only on a subconscious and subliminal level. The scripture is actually correct when it talks about the gender lines will be blurred, and you won't be able to tell the women from the men and the men from the women. They're confused. You have the book Homosexuality and Feminization of the African Male. All right, those such books are being written, but we're not taking heed. We're not taking heed to the brothers that are putting this particular information out. So I'm saying all that to say this. I had to talk about Dr. Richard King. I had to talk about Carl Jung. I had to put that contrast together even in the introduction because I want you to know it's not a totally black thing. All right? There has a such thing called the casualties of war, collateral damage. Some young whites will fall victim also and not know it. Some young whites will be used to bring these certain things about, and they have no knowledge. Francis Cress Welsing said, consciously or subconsciously, they'd be doing these things without even knowing. I think it was Bobby Hemmett and Phil Valentine called them automatons, meaning that by remote control, we will carry out the agenda and not even know it. Are you following me? All right. I had to talk about the father of the spin, Edward Bernays. All right. This is the birth of the PR. And I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all are looking at me like, wait a minute, Griff. You talk about the psychological covert war on hip hop. Why are we talking about Carl Jung, Edward Bernays, and Sigmund Freud? Because the techniques that they laid out are being utilized today and you don't even know it. The whole idea of spinning a story on ABC, NBC, CNN, all right, and some of these other networks, those same techniques Edward Bernays created. He was the one that put his uncle on the map, Sigmund Freud, all right? Inside of the century of self, the untold history of controlling the masses through the manipulation of unconscious desires. Edward Bernays brought that about. All right? So we have to understand these particular techniques. It says the conscious and intelligent manipulation of organized habits. This is one of the techniques that Edward Bernays used. Basically saying that if it's an unconscious desire, you don't even know where you got the desire from. That's permeating your thoughts on a day-to-day basis. All you know is you feed the desire. I'm not talking about the natural desire which operates right here at your lower chakras. You have to eat. And regardless whether you want to or not, the sexual urge and desire is there. You're going to satisfy it one way or the other. But the unconscious manipulation of those particular desires, they came up with a technique. One of the techniques that they use, you could be sitting in front of the TV trying to find the game or the boxing match, and a Murder King commercial could come on. And they use a Burger King commercial will come on. You're right, the first time I said it right. Nick Devils and the rest of them, man. Long John Killers. But anyway, now you'll make me forget my point. But anyway, they use colors to manipulate the lower chakras. All right? Let me clear it up. Some of y'all looking at me like I'm crazy.
I got you.
Okay. This is not our language. It's called the English language. It's a bastard language. It's only about 500 years old.
Right.
Okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. Our thick African tones and the way we pronounce certain words causes a certain vibration, right? But we know that letters put together make words. Words put together make sentences, make paragraphs, complete thought. You manifest the thought by speaking it into existence. Correct?
Right.
Okay. What about numbers? Numbers put together with other numbers make equations, mathematical equations. The formulas that they give you to use to solve the mathematical equations are what? Division, multiplication, subtraction. Are you following me? It's also a language. All right? So numbers, numerology is also a language. But we don't know anything about that. So when we start talking about numbers and how they put numbers together, also with colors, vibrations, please, somebody can stand up and let that sister have a seat. One of y'all brothers, thank you. Really appreciate it. Peace, man. It was good. You all right?
Yes, sir.
All right. That's a good friend of mine, Ella Nasha there. What chapter of the book that you helped me put? Chapter 50, he on it, man. Chapter 15 of analytics. All right. So y'all following me? So if we don't know how to decode the language that they use to even speak to one another, can you imagine the level of conversations that we're locked out of? One last example. For 8 years, y'all listened to a buffoon, an idiot, speak to you. His name is George Bush, who couldn't complete a damn sentence for 8 years. Well, anyway, we discovered he had this thing, technique he was using called double speak. He was speaking, you didn't understand what he was saying because he wasn't talking to you.
Right.
He was talking right past you. Are you following me?
Yeah.
All right? And with the manipulation of the unconscious desires, some of y'all voted him back in for another 4 years. All right? If this picture was blown up, you'd see a baby with the logos of the multinational corporations on the baby's skin. What does that say if we could decode what that actually means? As soon as you come out of the womb, you're a perpetual consumer.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it slow. You are a perpetual consumer from the time you come out of the womb. All right? Taste test, just for the ladies, sisters. How many pair of shoes y'all own? No, don't look at me. Don't put your head down. Just on an average.
About 30.
Excuse me?
I only had 4. I'm so.
All right, you need to be quiet then, because you're a rare exception to this particular rule. 4? I got more than 4 pair of shoes. I'm saying.
4 pair of sneakers, 2 pairs of
30?
and a pair of
How many you own?
20, maybe 20.
100. That's the average. 100. Some you shit haven't even wore. Trying to find the right damn outfit. Are you following me? So we have to understand that. Now, who manipulated your unconscious desire? For you to get 100 pair of shoes. So we have to understand that some multinational corporations are already tapped in to that unconscious desire before you even come out of the womb.
Yeah.
And they tapped into it. So by the time you come out, your mom already got designer diapers on you. Why? Phil Valentine said he had one sister talking about she uses scented toilet tissue. Now, I'm going to say that again slow because y'all didn't get that. The hell would you need with scented toilet tissue for?
Still gonna smell like shit.
I found this in studying the other day. It's not part of the book. All right, this is just something I found the other night, which kind of blew my mind. Buy life?
Yeah.
How is this resonating with you? If somebody said, "Buy life," brother, if I came to you and said, "Would you like to buy a life?" How would that resonate with you? It would send you spinning. Like, how do you even purchase a life? Well, this was a reality a minute ago to white people because they purchased us. Right or wrong? So it's not so far-fetched. But it's far-fetched to us because we don't operate on this frequency. You can never buy a life. So much so they put a barcode.
Yeah.
And then even deeper than that, they got black R&B and artists to put the shirt on that says "Buy Life." All right? Now, y'all may be saying this may be for a good cause because I believe it's a AIDS ad, and I need y'all to know that AIDS means Africans in deep shit. So, or America's doing the shit. How did they get a pregnant woman
Oh my goodness.
to put on a shirt that says "Buy Life" with a barcode on it? You see, when I see certain things like that, I automatically go into decode mode. Like, what does this really mean, and who are they talking to? And then why would they manipulate these black artists to put on this shirt to promote an idea that's definitely not ours?
Right.
So where did this particular idea originate? You cannot buy a life. There's some other slides that I should have put on here to show you what website you could go to buy a soul. What people on the planet do you think, all right, are on the black or the white market looking for a soul? How about people that have no soul? Chuck D called one of our albums, "How You Sell Soul to a Soulless People That Sold Their Soul." All right? There are people walking around trying to purchase soul because there's some soulless people and they're not in tune with anything else. Further on in my study, and on the same website, I discovered this ad. Kim Kardashian is dead. Now, what does this mean to a 12 and 13-year-old, though? I need to ask the question, does art imitate life, or does life imitate art at this point? No, come on. Seriously, think a little deeper with me. If your daughter, 8, 9 years old, loves Kim Kardashians and keeping up with the Kardashians, and this is her idol, but Kim Kardashian is seen here as being dead. You mean to tell me that wouldn't have an adverse effect on your child's psyche?
Griff, for the record,
Yes.
one of your videos we labeled the assassination of Professor Griff. And we're still getting calls. Griff is dead?
No. That just goes to show you. Hold on. Alicia Keys is dead. What are they promoting? They're basically saying, listen, man, we're visual people. I can talk to you all day long. I can show you 1 or 2 pictures. You will leave out here not even thinking about what I said, but what you saw. Are you following me? So we have to understand this particular dynamic. Now, can I just ask y'all to do me one favor real quick, and a little bit later on when we start getting into symbology, we'll kind of decode some things. For the few minutes that I've had this slide up, how many people really looked in it instead of at it? Just raise your hand. Just the brothers in the back looked in it. Everybody up here just kind of looked at it and you kind of turned away.
I'm not even looking at it, bro. I'm listening to you.
Good. You know why? Because that's a technique that they use, brother. They'd rather have you kind of like, this is the distraction, but now I'm talking over here and I'm feeding your subconscious mind. But at the same time, the technique works like this. This is already etched in your brain.
Right, just to see it.
Now, stop for a moment and look in it. Not me, I'm not going to talk. I just want you to look in it. And just tell me what you see. Because maybe y'all don't see what I see.
See Christ.
I see two pyramids over us, right?
True.
I see a cross.
A cross is there.
I
See this?
Third eye illuminated and her solar plexus illuminated.
Exactly. All of y'all are correct. You see, there's things going on in the picture that don't speak to the fact that Alicia Keys is dead. Now, cognitive dissonance. What is that?
Cognitive.
Come on, somebody tell me, please. Help me
You
out.
learn something without knowing you learning.
Say it again.
When you learn something without knowing that
It's
you learning.
those 2 things that you're learning at the same time that have conflicting thoughts in the brain, and they're fighting for that space. Those 2 things are going on right now as I speak. You're listening to me, and the image is there. All right? So if I said, I'm going to be quiet for a minute, and then you're able to focus in on one thing, all right, then you're able to kind of decode it. And y'all seen all kind of things in the picture. Are you following me? This is how they do it, brothers and sisters. The 13 songs that they're playing on the radio, you see it on BET and MTV. You hear it on the radio. It's in their iPods. So on the iPad, it's the music backing the car commercial. You constantly hear it over and over and over. Why? Back to what Edward Bernays was talking about. The Century of Self, it deals with the untold history of controlling the masses through the manipulation of unconscious desires. The iPad came out. How many people bought it? Y'all know y'all need to stop lying. 1, 2. I feel like y'all feel. Why did y'all buy it? For what reason? What purpose does it serve? Come on, talk to me.
Attract women.
New technology. And what is the new technology for? Did it enhance your life? Let me ask you some very vital questions. I'm not being vulgar. Please don't take this the wrong way. Did it help you get a hard on? Did it help you cook? Did it mix up the recipes for you? Did it help you kick it to some chick at the club? What?
Communication.
To whom? To other people that don't have iPads? To who? The Matrix. You can say it. It plugged you right back into the Matrix. Another question for all of us. How many gadgets do you own?
Cell phone.
A television.
No. These are real questions. My grandma owned one, maybe, which was the radio. How many do you own? Come on, just let's be real with one another.
TV and
3.
At least 3, right?
3. Radio, television, telephone.
Radio, television,
Telephone.
and the telephone. Wow, you're good. Because the average person owns about 12. Am I right? Now think about the ones you own. iPad, iPod,
MP3 player.
MP3 players,
laptop,
desktop,
laptop,
2 cell phones,
DVD.
projector. I got 4 TVs. Y'all got a TV in all your children's rooms. So yeah, about 12. All of them giving off radiation. All right? Some you can't turn off unless you unplug them and take the battery out. Right or wrong. So we're wired. All right? Let's push forward. Now we to the first degree. I call them degrees instead of chapters because we move in degrees.
That's right.
You know, maybe some of y'all are thinking right now, ain't that some Freemasonic stuff? You moving in degrees? It probably is because they stole that from us.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So it probably is, and that's cool. Are you following me? God is so beneficent and so merciful that He never brings you from summer to winter.
That's right.
In a week. He
That's
brings
right.
you in or He brings you in degrees.
That's right.
So there's nothing wrong with having degrees in the book.
That's right.
When you graduated college, what did you get? A diploma?
A degree.
In your college, you get a degree.
That's right.
Not a very good one, but you still got a degree. All right. Rap versus hip hop. The hip hop revolution conceived or deceived. Racism and the reality of a mind revolution beyond the 21st century. We're not going to deal with all of that, just some aspects of it. I had to come to the conclusion, the hip hop revolution that Public Enemy set in motion on a conscious level, do we conceive it or were we deceived? That's a question I had to ask myself. To turn around and see one partner doing reality shows and the other one on TV doing Air America and on radio doing Air America and working for Fox or whoever the hell. Are you following me?
Yeah.
I'm sandwiched in the middle with the awesome task of carrying the legacy of Public Enemy forward. No disrespect to them brothers. But it was about raising the conscious level of our people.
That's what it is.
Not for a day, a month, not because we got a platinum album,
Right.
not because we went on 77 tours, none of that. All of that is a side issue when it comes to you.
That's right.
You are our goal. Are you following me?
That's right.
So I'm feeling, personally speaking, we should still be on the mission. All right? Racism, we're going to deal with that. The reality of a mind revolution. Revolution is complete, constructive, conscious, cosmic change. Inside of the word revolution, you have the word meaning to bind back to do over. Reconnect, rewind, reconsider, rethink. There's about a million words I can think of. Religion, all right?
Revert.
Reverse. So we have the meaning to go back, to bind back to. Bind back to what? An evolution. We have to evolve.
Yes.
Inside of the word revolution, in order for you to evolve, you have to bind yourself back to.
Yeah, mastermind.
All right?
Yes.
So let's understand that. So revolution, racism and the reality of a mind revolution beyond the 21st century. First thing I had to talk about on the first page right after that particular title, I had to deal with the CIA. I had to give you an example of what went on in the past. All right? Dealing with Fidel Castro, what went down in certain parts of the globe, so you can understand two things. That's about to come here to America, and to give you an example of things haven't changed. We wear the Che Guevara t-shirt, but how many know the history of Che Guevara? I can ask you one question. How did he die? Can anyone tell me? Raise your hand. Next time you see somebody with the t-shirt on, ask them. It was the CIA that went into the jungles that killed Che Guevara, tracked him down, and murdered him. All right? Put his body on display and took pictures with it. You know, them jail pictures that they be taking in prison? Took pictures with it. But we wear the Che Guevara image, not even knowing the history. All right? So it is with the secret covert war on Black America. This is before we even get to hip-hop. Are you following me? So we have to talk about, oh no, it did not do that.
Here you go.
You came back home.
Oh, I was about to say, that'd be ugly. Fred Hampton Sr. is one of those brothers, 17 years old. Now I can politely ask the question, do y'all know how Fred Hampton Sr. died?
Assassinated.
One brother, because we had that discussion, and we always do. All right? He was set up by an agent, somebody that looked just like us, who took a napkin and wrote out the floor plan of his apartment and gave it to the police. Showed him where he'd be sleeping and what time he'd be going to bed, and poisoned him, and drugged him rather, so that he wouldn't wake up. And if you've seen the pictures of 107 bullets that riddled the walls and the mattress and his body, you say, wow, that's critical. All right? But that same vibratory frequency, that energy is among us today. All right? Laugh, but there's a war going on right now, right on TV, not directed at you, but at your children. Can anybody in this room name me the top 3 animated, not animated, but probably rap commercials that are out now? Anyone? Just think real deep, huh?
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob has one, yeah, but no, these are very prominent.
You talk about like the Kia Soul commercial.
It's one. Kia. Kia has a commercial with animals out, hamsters, and they're dancing. All right. See, we don't really pay attention. Think it's cute, yada yada yada. Who know what Kia stands for? Just raise your hand. All right, huh?
No.
No one? See, this is the problem. We can't even fight back because we're not informed. All right, Kia is Koreans in America. It's a car corporation. All right, so let's understand this. But why are they using hip hop? I want to see if I can find it real quick since we're on that point. I don't know where the hell it's at, to be honest with you. But can anybody, while I'm finding it, can we think of the other two commercials? Seen the Aflac commercial?
Yeah, breakdancing, the little goose.
I need to find this to show you because you will not believe me by me just telling it to you. It's good that we're scrolling through all of this stuff is in the book, page by page. All right. So while we're looking for, I got KRS-One in here. I had y'all seen the $16,000 dog, right?
No.
Oh, you haven't? No. Oh, okay. We're gonna talk about that in 1 second. Of course, I got Clarence Thomas in here when we deal with the Masonic order, the Baphomet. We got to talk about Jordan Maxwell, the Bible. We got to talk about the Council on Foreign Relations, which is actually the Illuminati. We got to talk about what I talked about in the book Analytics, how Barack Obama was going to sign off on AFRICOM, allowing multinational corporations to come in and recolonize Africa. This is what Africa looks like now. You see all the multinational corporations, and they're buying up the land and they're making laws that black people can't own any land in Africa. We got to talk about the Boule with my man Steve Coakley.
Oh, yeah.
We got to talk about Skull and Bones. We're going to talk about the rift between Du Bois and Marcus Garvey. Of course, Foreign Affairs. We got to talk about Kissinger, the Committee of 300 and their role in dumbing down popular entertainment. We got to talk about They Live. You seen They Live?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to break down the dollar bill because there's a symbolic language in the dollar bill that we have to talk about. Hold on. Please tell me it's in there.
Anyway,
Dave Chappelle's confession about the Illuminati. We're going to talk about R. Kelly. We're going to talk about demonic possession. We talked about Sasha Fierce. And we're going to talk about how they use MTV Video Music Awards to go through a Masonic ritual, a Freemasonic occult ritual. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't see it yet, so I couldn't really kind of, promote it because I didn't see it. But from my brother, who just handed me the DVD, this is on sale. And surprisingly enough, the people that put this together, which are very good people, took my voice and narrated it, which is a beautiful thing because they talk about homosexuality and these particular things and how they go through the Masonic occult rituals. So you'll actually see who's part of the whole thing, who's actually taking the oath and being used as agents. And I go over the same thing in the book. You see Nicki Minaj on stage pulling out the dildo and sticking it in one of her dances? No? Where y'all been? Maybe I need to slow down. Let me scratch my head. Hold on.
Some people don't pay attention.
TV. We don't even watch
Well, I
TV.
don't watch TV either, but I got a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old, and I gotta watch some things. I gotta keep my finger on the pulse.
Right.
Well, anyway, Nicki Minaj whips out a dildo on stage, and there's one picture I have where this sister kind of reaches up and grabs the dildo and jerking her off, and the two dancers grab one of the sisters and turn her upside down and cock her legs open and spread them apart, and she's taking a dildo and kind of, and this is happening in front of, a few thousand people.
On TV?
On,
In concert.
let me tell you something, young people, the TV thing to them is secondary. They go on YouTube when you go to sleep, and they see it all. Are you following me? Yeah, I put it in the book so you can see it. How many people understand the history of the Jewish human sacrifice? People came at me so much about the blood sacrifice. When I talked about the blood sacrifice in hip-hop, people sacrificing their family members and that kind of thing, people was claiming that I was making it up. I think I bought a few copies. I'm gonna leave a copy with you, brother. Tyson.
A lot of the Masons still do when they go to the Bohemian Grove or something.
Let me give this to you. I only got about 4 copies of it. This is Jewish blood rituals. Actual rituals of Jewish people wherever they live. Babies come up missing. They go through these rituals and these rites, especially during their holidays. All right, it's the Jewish blood ritual. I documented it and I put it in the book so these people can be quiet and back up off of me. These things have always went on. You heard the story of Jack the Ripper and some of these other people that they never catch? These people are from rich, well-to-do families, going through ceremonies and rituals and initiations, having to spill blood, and they do all the time. Hood Treason, the Pacify Antidote, sold out at 10% off, certified Uncle Tom. I deal with the Hip-Hop 10 Commandments in this chapter, and the first thing is critical because I go into the first commandment. It says, thou must diss black women, which is the first 10 commandment, the first commandment in hip-hop. And then the rest of the commandments get worse. The 10 things that rappers must do to be successful. First thing you must do is diss black women. So when you find them, rappers that are out with songs disrespecting black women, they're on their way. Can we name one of those artists that's a millionaire right now? Who?
Jay-Z.
He's corny.
He is.
Ludacris.
Luda?
Right now.
Oh yeah.
I said in one lecture, I said, how dare this dude, man? The first black rapper to go to South Africa to make a video. He's in South Africa, beautiful women around him. He got a Marcus Garvey t-shirt on. What was the song that he did? Pimping hoes all over the world.
Yeah.
Came back to America and did what? Hoes in every area code.
Yeah.
See? The 10 Commandments, the first commandment, thou must diss black women.
Wow.
What is Ludacris doing now? Movies, because he got the green light by your man Quincy Jones. What did I say about Quincy Jones? Flaming, and he set up the sex rings in Hollywood. See, Quincy Jones is a gatekeeper. You got to go through the gate of Hollywood to go through Quincy Jones, even to get into Hollywood. Can we name some artists that did? Will Smith, who else? LL, Tevin Campbell, Queen Latifah. We can go on and on, right? So what I did was I actually found a sister that's actually shaped like the Hataten, the Venus Hataten tribe. But there's nothing to be disrespectful about to the sisters. Are you following me? This is the archetype of the black woman. Well, it ain't the archetype anymore because y'all trying to look like the white girl, and the white girl got the asses now. Are you following me? Don't frown at me. I know what the hell I'm talking about because I seen them. I seen them. I'm telling you. I'm not playing. I'm telling you for real. Y'all seen them too, but y'all don't want to say anything. Brothers, y'all seen them. It's ridiculous. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Sisters are now straight at 6 o'clock, straight up and down, and the white girls got their asses. Yes.
Let me just say this. I work at Second Chestnut, and I'm out there every day, and I swear, more white girls got them round asses than black people.
Exactly.
We stand there in disbelief every single day.
I'm scratching my head like, what's going on?
I'm vouching for that.
It's critical. Anyway.
White women exercise though. Like, I'm not saying black girls don't
exercising. There's a white girl that live on my block. She been exercising for the last 13 years. She ain't got no. I'm saying something else is going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if they're buying it or eating church's chicken. I don't know what the hell is going on. But something's happening. But the sister here is the archetype. All right, now, bro, I can't give you her phone number, but nonetheless, she's out there. These sisters are there. Are you following me? All right? The reason why, because we don't know the story of Sarah Barton. Are you following me? How many people know the story? All right, y'all need to go and y'all need to look up this story. We can't show it right now. We can't even show that part of it. What was I looking for?
For the Kia Soul, trying to find the different characters.
Okay, I have the slide, but now the thing should follow it, but I don't think it's going to follow. But here it is. 2010 Kia Soul hamster commercial. Black Sheep Kia hamsters video.
Yeah.
They're out here dancing to Black Sheep's song. You remember this one? The Sobe commercial?
Yeah.
with the little lizards fighting for the affection of the black woman here. See, but they have to reduce the black man to subhuman level. And they got to view you and put you in the category of animals in order to deal with you. Every time they have to deal with you, you animals. You driving in a car, you an animal. You drinking sobe and dancing for the affection of the black woman, you're an animal. They have to demonize you. Like they demonized Gaddafi before they assassinated him. Are you following me? See, the media, let me tell y'all something, man. The media, multi-ethnic destruction in America, or maniac European devils in action, the media is the third branch of government. I'm telling you for real. I don't think I put the slide in here, but did y'all know that Beyonce, Jay-Z, Usher, and I think there's a list of other people I have in here in the book, they got $1 million for 45 minutes. Can you imagine performing and getting $1 million for 45 minutes? This is what Gaddafi's sons paid them. Lionel Richie, there's a long list of them. Mariah Carey, I could go on. Diana Ross, I could go on and on. Quick Trip to Libya, perform for an hour or so, collect your $1 million, you out.
Wow.
This is what Gaddafi's sons were paying him. I put it in the book. Hold on.
Wow.
VigilantCitizens.com. I go into Michael Tessarian's work and the Hidden Persuaders. I go into becoming symbol literate. I put the symbols there to let you know how to become symbol literate. I go into Adorno's work in the book. We talk about Eminem and his connection to Jimmy Iovine, and Jimmy Iovine's connection to Vivendi, which y'all probably don't know what that is. Please either get the book or look it up. But it says, well, now I know what a devil worshiper looks like. And all these people connected, Dre, 50 Cent, Eminem, all kind of people connected to this one person. We need to figure out who this one person is connected to. I talk about Coke 45 with Silly D. Williams and how Snoop Dogg is picking up and the mantle is being passed to Snoop Dogg. Coke 45 was promoted by Billy D. Williams, and now Snoop Dogg promotes another product, 20, 30 years later from Coke 45 called Blast. Alright? I go through the whole idea of having and owning a spirit, which is what liquor and wine is, spirits. Having to own one is actually an initiation for black entertainers. Everyone has one. Jamie Foxx made a song, Busta Rhymes made a song, Rick Ross has one, Jay-Z, Ludacris, Fabulous, Young Jeezy, you know, Ciroc by Puffy, all of them have. What is spirits? What does it do? You see, when you take and ingest the spirit, it opens up your energy centers. Once your energy centers are open, the music can come in uncontested. You know, sometimes when your ass is sober and you thinking clear, you tell your son or your daughter, turn that off, I don't want to hear that. Well, when your ass go to the club and you get the spirit in you, you don't even contest the song. Whatever the DJ play, you don't yell at the DJ, do you? The DJ play whatever it is that he want to play, and you just going along with it, right or wrong. Why? Because you threw a couple back, right? And your energy centers are open.
It's the truth.
All right?
You put weed in that context too?
Let me tell you something. Weed in its organic state may help you. It has medicinal uses and other purposes. Once you put the fire to it, it turns into a chemical. Are you following me? In that case, certain aspects of the melanin that's in us, the high concentration of melanin, can't deal with it. But now, while we're on that subject, whose weed are we smoking? Is your ass growing it? No, I just want to know. Boy, you filming this? You still filming? Okay. Just between us, whose weed you smoking? You ain't growing it, are you?
Right.
If you are, don't say it on film, but I'm just saying. Coach Powell, good friend of mine, wrote a book called Message in a Bottle, The 40-Ounce Scandal. Let me tell y'all something, and I'm going to say this on film. When you eat the food that's only sold in the hood, that's what it's designed for. You're not going to find this food in the white neighborhood. Are you following me? What should that tell you?
Don't eat it.
Don't eat it. It's only being sold here on Broad. They don't eat it. They'll sell it to you. You give me like I'm crazy. Let's just pause for a minute. Everybody take a damn deep breath or something. Listen, they don't sell this madness to their own people. They only sell this garbage in the hood, y'all. I'm telling you.
It's true.
But you got brothers like this that's sounding the alarm, but y'all not listening. As my granddaughter would say, black man not listening. For real. All right, so this is entertainment now. Wiz Khalifa on stage licking the crotch of Amber Rose.
Oh, wow.
In front of thousands and thousands of people. Now y'all may ask, y'all may say to yourself, well, damn, that's kind of vulgar. But hell, who the hell is Amber Rose?
She's from South Philly.
Are you following me? She's from here?
Yeah, she's from South Philly.
I'm just saying though, but who is she that? First she dated Kanye, and that, let me tell you something, I didn't put it in the book, but I got a long list of white girls that are tapped into the vibration of black people. And that they wax fat, rich now. I've seen Kim Kardashian. I could take y'all to the hood and show y'all some sisters with some asses. Kim Kardashian, J-Lo, and the rest of them, no, they not built like sisters.
Right.
So what are these people promoting? See, according to white standards, she's probably has a big behind, but to us, it's on some shit we see on Broad every day. Are you following me? Right. All right, but she's made to be like the
gold standard.
The standard. Are you following me? That goes both ways. But anything more than what she has, you're fat. Are you following me?
Yeah.
So this sends a subliminal message to sisters that, you know, I'm too big. No, you're not. You are the standard. Are you following me? Let's understand that. So I deal with destroying hip-hop's appetite for self-destruction from gangster to gay. And I start off with my good brother Imwali Muke Bomani Baruti, who wrote the book Homosexuality and Feminization of African Males. And what I did was I put the symbols here, the Adinkra symbols here, to pull you back to your center, man. You understand what I'm saying? This homosexuality stuff is some white people stuff. Give them back their stuff, for real.
Yes.
No, just give it back to them.
That's the truth.
That's not our thing.
Give it back their shit.
So, I talk about the feminization of the African male. I pull some stuff from my good brother, I'll talk about it in a minute. But the dynamic is 2 white homosexual males now adopting black children. It's a reality. I see them at the airport, pushing black children around. And you know, black children be acting up, especially in public. But there's no way that I can call you by your there's no way I can call you your name after you went to your naming ceremony, because your naming ceremony, all right, was supposed to have your name put at the center of your being. How can I prove this? Black moms and grandmoms do this naturally. You know when you're about to get in trouble, your mother said your whole name?
Yes.
You know your ass is about to get it. Are you following me?
Yes.
See, your name, after you went through your naming ceremony, is supposed to center you. Can you imagine a white homosexual male calling a black African child by their name and pulling them back to the center? I can't see that. Give me an African name. Give me one, just anyone.
Mwamba.
Huh?
Mwamba.
Mwamba. Imagine a white gay dude. Mwamba! Come over here. Not gonna work.
At all.
It's just not going to work. Are you following me? We respond to the vibratory frequency inside the African voice. And there is such a thing as the African voice. We operate on a vibratory frequency. How many beats per minute does the heart? If you're left alone and you ain't got to go to work on Monday. If you're just left to be you. How many beats per minute?
Like
Average. Absolutely not.
72.
72, exactly. 72. 110, your ass will have a heart attack. If you but the brother is absolutely right. Some of us have 100. That's high blood pressure.
Yeah.
But we operate at 110 every day. That's why you get headaches all the time. If you're at 110 every day, rushing to work, coming back, the babysitter, paying the bills, cooking, yada yada, fixing the car, yada yada yada, whoopty whoopty whoop. Are you following me? White people, the answer's 72. Calm. They can live their life. You rushing all the time. That's why we losing hair. We can't get it up. Brothers, are you following me? Along with these diets that we have, it's supposed to be 72. Why 72? If you go to any pulsation of any of the organs in the body, that's how it's beating. Listen to any hip-hop song. We may speed it up a little, but it's there. And see, that's what we resonate with. So we have to understand that. But this vibratory frequency, taking you totally out of yourself to act other than your own self, to even so much so that you out on Broad Street and as opposed to you looking at a sister's ass, you're looking at a dude. Something is absolutely wrong with that. Something is wrong with that. For real. Let me tell y'all something. The CDC have announced that they have diseases and viruses now that they don't even have names for. They just give them numbers. Some of them are being passed on through the saliva. So sisters, if you're licking other women and you turn around and you're kissing men, it's a problem. If you're kissing your child after the white woman done licked on dogs and you're kissing her, it's a problem. You're passing on these things and you don't even know it. So now what happens when Hollywood, black men go to Hollywood and have to put on a dress and act other than their own self? The war on the horizon. All of this I put in the book. Because if I just put my words in the book or the interview that I put in with Brother Baruti, you wouldn't respect that. Because you don't revere and respect us as being historians and scholars and researchers. So I put the pictures in there and to convince you to lock themselves into your subconscious mind so you can think about it. But one picture that I put in there kind of baffles my brain. It says gay is the new black. No. Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah, because that's horrible.
I don't mean to insult anybody in this room, but we just need to just, as a family, can we talk for a second?
Mm-hmm.
Right, speak.
How many people in this room consider themselves black? The rest of all that didn't put up your hand, I need y'all to talk to me, okay? If y'all not black, then what else are y'all?
Sovereign indigenous.
Sovereign indigenous.
Asiatic.
Aboriginal.
Aboriginal.
Hold on, you got a question.
Oh, yes.
What for us to call ourselves black? I haven't seen, but like probably a handful of people that I would say is black in my lifetime.
Black meaning as far as complexion?
As far as I say.
Well, you probably haven't traveled. Because I got relatives that's darker than everybody in this room. But they don't call themselves black because they don't speak English. Are you following me? And the term that is rewritten by white people in their law libraries is one thing. Who we are according to the vibratory frequency of the macro and the micro womb of the black mother goddess is another story. Fuck the Crackers Dictionary. I come out of the blackness of my mother's womb. Are you following me? And everything that comes with, excuse me? Everything that comes with it. We're talking beyond this being black. We're talking beyond that. We talk about the genetic code that you're locked into coming out of the dark melanated doorway that you had to come through even to come on the earth. We ain't talking about what the cracker put in his law library. We're not talking, that's not an argument of mine. And for those that understand it to that degree, y'all are absolutely correct. But I'm saying, that doesn't make me wrong. If everything living comes out of the macro womb of the universe, all right, the doorway, which they don't even understand. We've explained this time and time again. Richard King and all the other scientists and scholars have explained this. All right? The thing that wakes you up in the morning and puts you to sleep is called melanin. Black. It lines every organ. Black. You can't escape black. Now just because the cracker came along and put an addendum inside of his book defining black as being evil or in the dictionary, that's on him. I don't have that argument.
Right.
Y'all are probably right. But I know what speaks to me every morning and every night. When I need to be serious, serotonin kicks in, which is black. When I need to mellow out, what happens? Melatonin kicks in, which is black. Are you following me? Okay, I'm gonna show you a few more things. But my point was, before I got sidetracked, gay is the new black. How the hell is gay the new black when y'all didn't even claim the whole black? What the hell was the old black? Come on, talk to me.
Yeah, that's true.
Y'all weren't even black before. We did everything to escape black, but now when we see this, we want to argue. And now that we got these brand new definitions of black, we really brand new. Are you following me? I'm saying to quell your thinking, because I know you're thinking some things right now. We're all of that and then some. When we go to have that argument with our open enemy, when we sit down to negotiate the land rights, we're going to bring this brother and then we're going to talk about the definition of black. When we go to sit down with the scientists among them, when we get the record straight for the record, the Akashic record, we're going to sit down with them and I'm going to explain to them what black really means as far as the macro and the micro womb of the black mother goddess. That child sitting in this womb right here, right now, all right, from a black woman and a black man is what? Black. Don't know anything about being sovereign in the womb.
Not at all.
We're gonna have that discussion later. I know where you're going with it.
No,
and I don't wanna.
I understand you. What I'm saying is I don't appeal to their definition of black, like you said, like what's in their definition.
Hold on.
So if I fill out for a job, I'm not agreeing to their black that's on that form. I really don't agree to it.
Oh yeah, but I'm thinking it's so far beyond the job, beyond their dictionary.
Yeah, that's what
we
I'm
talk
saying.
about the very thing that we are. That if we had no title, what would we be? Coming from the macro womb of the black mother goddess. Hold on one second. Yes, sir.
Yeah, to make that statement that gay is the new black, and what you said earlier, and what about them putting it in the dictionary as dark, how can they even call themselves darkness or the evilness of the dictionary word that they're saying? Or what are they speaking from what the black, what me and you are thinking, what we really are? They're not even speaking from that.
They're right. They're not speaking from that point of reference.
Yeah,
they're basically saying whatever we think black is. Because it really hasn't been defined to us. That's what black is. It's gay.
But doesn't gay mean happy?
Well, you see, they define these terms.
Right. See, that's the crazy part. Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So if they define what gay is,
right,
and they defining what black is, okay, then I guess they're proving their point. But if gay and black have anything to do with me putting on women's clothes, I don't want either one of them. That's my point.
Yeah. Right
there. If I gotta be so goddamn black, I gotta put on a skirt and some stockings and some heels. I don't want that either. That's my point.
Right.
All right.
Okay, here it is. What's up? It's your boy. Look, okay, the moment you all been waiting for, it's the world premiere, and that's not just around here. That's the whole world. The brand new Gangsta-licious video. The song is called Homies Over Hoes. I bet you hate games.
That was made. All of these things were coming out of Tavistock Institute, and they had actually said themselves what they was going to do was control the music in America. Now, they said themselves that they would operate and use certain vibrational tones to put in the music to attack the chakras. They even admitted themselves the chakras are your energy centers. They admitted themselves that they would come up with these particular tones, and by the time you ended up listening to certain songs, you would end up carrying out the agenda by degrading yourself. Now let's really think about that. You can listen to a song, and some of y'all probably have done it. We mimic these songs and we sing these songs that actually call us out of our name, but we still dance. We wear the t-shirt, we buy the albums, we go to the concerts. Can y'all name such a song? Yes.
Jay-Z, 99 Problems with a...
Say it one more time.
99 Problems with a...
99 Problems with a Bitch Ain't One. We see young kids singing this, but what does it mean to them? It becomes part of your aura. So Tavistock Institute put these things in motion. They said they would shape the moral code of what's going on in America, so much so that you'd fight and kill one another to buy things that will kill you. Can I prove that? Oprah said go to the website, go to her site, download the Kentucky Fried Chicken coupon, print it out, take the coupon to Kentucky Fried Chicken to get a free meal. Guess what happened?
Right.
They had to shut them. It was almost riots, right? Mind control. Wow. See, we kill people for the right to have things to kill us. But we do this on a subconscious level. That's what the end result of Tavistock Institute. A few years ago, there was brothers on every corner in every city I went to was wearing white tees. What was that about? It's not like the first time they invented white tees, but all of a sudden, all of a sudden in every city, brothers was wearing white tees. Why?
Flavor of the month.
What? Pardon me?
Flavor of the month.
I doubt that very seriously. See, we got to think past that.
Somebody wanted in the South. They trying to start that cotton. So
the what?
The cotton.
I can't even laugh at you.
I just Steven it, bro.
You know, I was the hustler's uniform. All of these things are probably true. Yes.
In the streets, the word was it made it more difficult.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
Well, that's what I heard.
Right.
That if everyone wore the same thing, then how could you tell who's who? Fingerprint, idiot. How about facial recognition software, dumbass? How about a few other things that you don't know that white people already have in the squad car that can readily identify you? This heat-seeking thing that they have now.
When you fire a weapon, it can.
What is it called?
Not the thermographic lens.
Yes, that's what it is again.
Thermographic lens.
Thermographic imaging they have. They can take a picture of your aura. They can find your ass. Nah, it wasn't me. But you had this Coca-Cola bottle you drank and you threw it down when the police and they got it, tested your fingerprint, matched it up, but it wasn't you. Yeah, all right. Tell me anything. I mean, listen. We're not even gonna talk about crime. We'll talk about that some other time. Just a few more things.
And that sister you was talking about.
I talked about blood rituals in the Illuminati. A very popular kidnapping and murder was John Benet Ramsey. Right. And if you see the way her parents are just kind of lying their way through that. I don't know what the hell they were promised. But little children and little girls especially are coming up missing. That brought me to write this in the book about Roy and Walt Disney, about the mind control program that they have in Orlando, Florida, underneath the ground there. Have anybody y'all been and seen this? The little city that they have under the ground? Okay, well I was there. But anyway, there's some strange things happening in Orlando and in LA. Magic Mountain and rest of that madness. But all of these entertainers found their way to the top of the black music charts. And all of them were Mouseketeers. Now I found that very interesting. Y'all probably say I'm crazy as hell, but I tried to connect the dots and I said to myself, why? Just ask myself the question like, why? Is it a coincidence that these white entertainers, R&B artists, were all Mouseketeers and all of them at one time or another ended up at the top of the black music charts? All of them were Mouseketeers and they went through the same mind control program. All right. I'm honestly going to say this, that I truly know and understand that in a minute, a few of them, if not all of them, are going to have meltdowns. You've seen Britney Spears' meltdown. This heifer shaved off all of her hair.
She wanted her mind back.
Roy was probably the most non-popular one of the Disney brothers. Walt Disney was the more popular one. Roy Disney was the brainchild and kind of ran everything and put everything together. Both of them practice occult rituals. All right. Let me see. All right. I was supposed to show you all the $16,000 dog.
Yeah.
We'll end on the $16,000 dog so we can go home.
All right. You want to touch on access cards?
If we get a second, I'm trying to find a $16,000 dog. Give me a second. In the meantime, the book is 260 pages. Everything that you see me showing is in the book except for one or two slides that I show you. It makes it excellent read and a very easy read because there's 700 images in it. It's a teaching tool. Not only is it a teaching tool, it's a way to get through to your little ones and let them know, look, this is what's going on in a nutshell. Let me show you this $16,000 dog clip. How's everybody doing, all right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry this lecture is so choppy. I'm just skipping around at some things.
The book.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes. Talk to me. While I try to find this clip. Go on.
All right. Are we the only nationalities that they actually doing this to? Like, what about like Chinese people? You know what I'm saying? Or any of these other cultures that really don't care about white people, black, or any other, and they win it, huh?
Is black a nationality?
No.
Afro. Americans.
Afro-American, what the hell is that? We can go on and on. I understand what you're The sister I know actually couldn't conceive, so she went to the bank, and when the people asked her, well, what kind of sperm and how you want your child to look and whatever, she had a choice to choose. She chose some Asian sperm. I can't put it any scientific kind of way. She chose some Asian sperm to be artificially inseminated so she'd have an Asian looking child with her nappy ass hair. So what are we producing? No, seriously, we need to think about this. You're about to produce a race, a nation, and a race of people that don't give a fuck about you. They're not gonna grow up respecting you. Are you following me? So we have to understand that. So it is with the Little Waynes. They came from that crack era way back when AIDS and crack hit at the same time. Remember? 586. Fast forward to today. That's Little Wayne's age. His mom, his dad, uncles, that was that era. AIDS and crack, chemical and biological warfare hit at the same time. By the time Little Wayne is grown, right, he ain't respected anything. Because it came from that was a wild, crazy era. That was the birth of Public Enemy. When we seen it going down, and we tried to come up with the strongest, noisiest music possible to interrupt that frequency. Are you following me? Yeah. Francis Cress Welsing called the music that came after that sensory overload. You play the music so damn loud and it's so confusing, you just don't know what to think. Because you don't want to think. Because you're feeling so bad, you just want to escape. So you listen to the music, you always go to the club, you get drunk, you light up, you have unscrupulous sex with multiple partners and this kind of madness. So by the time you get to a Little Wayne, you can almost figure out what's going to happen. All right. Very powerful book. The first millennium of first edition of the American Directory of Certified Uncle Toms. What I often talk about on page 236, it talks about the nefarious niggerization of rap music. It's here on the shelf somewhere. Derek Parker was probably one of the hip-hop cops that kind of came out and actually told what was going on at the police department. These are people that are coming forth telling you what's going on. So you ain't got to believe Professor Griff. Let me move down to some other things. NWA. NWA, from the time that they came out with Fuck the Police, they were being tracked by the FBI. I put the documents in here so you can see it for yourself. Why did I put the documents in here? Simply because the military, they studied this particular stuff at military schools. Why would young black men with jerry curls from, this is their wording, not mine, from Compton, come out with a song like Fuck the Police? And then when we turn around and we pay half the members off and we bring some of them to superstardom, all right, this is how we can effectively neutralize urban unrest. Are you listening? So their strategy at the military colleges, number one, pay them off. It's the same thing the government do when they attack countries. They send in the economic hitmen. The economic hitman can't destabilize the government and bring it down so they accept the dollar and they accept all the multinational corporations coming in, then they bomb the damn place. Libya was not going to have a Broad Street in Libya with McDonald's and Taco Bell. It wasn't going to happen. You bring the economic hitman in, if you can't destabilize the country. Did y'all know that there's a book out that admitted that there was only 897 people in Libya that disagree with the government? 897 people. So what the government did, America, NATO, and the rest of them, they took people from other countries that were dissatisfied and installed them in Libya. Said they was from certain places in Libya and used them as rebels. Some of the footage that you see on TV wasn't even in Libya. These are some wicked demons, man. You seen the movie Wag the Dog? You need to see that movie because that's how they pulled it off. The bombing in Libya and the people that you see hurt and bleeding, that stuff didn't even take place in Libya. It happened at a movie studio. They just put it on TV and made you think it happened in Libya. Good guy, man. William Cooper. Behold the pale horse, who told truth not to you, he spoke to other white people. And for those of us that heard him, but they assassinated him. Now you know if they'll kill one of the ones that look like them and one of their own, you know what they'll do to you.
And he had the picture in that book.
All right.
Of him sitting in front of his door.
Right. All right, so MTV, BET, MTV Cribs. Can y'all hear this?
Oh, Boondocks.
Hold on. I think I can make that.
This was the funniest
Right. I don't get it.
Must be some of that Harvard humor. Faggot ass faggot.
How are we fucking up niggas' money?
Well, let's see. As you requested, nobody outside this room has been paid for months.
And you fired everyone that could read.
I love it.
Okay, and the public relations?
Mistress Weaver, we got one thing to report, alright? Some little nigga named Huey Freeman. Apparently he all critical of the network and shit, talking about he's starting a hunger strike.
Alright, what did we ever do to him except try to destroy black people? What's the problem?
This hunger strike will continue until BET is taken off the air, the office is shut down, and all its top executives commit Japanese ritual suicide.
All kind of people connected to this one person. We need to figure out who this one person is connected to. That's crazy.
Yes. Y'all ain't never seen that one?
Anyway.
He's like, that's draining me.
Why Busta Rhymes and Snoop and all of them do the voices, man?
I don't know. I think, you know, a lot of times, man, them cats got Maybachs to pay for and houses and shit. I don't know, man, to be honest with you. But this is what I talked about earlier. Nicki Minaj pulls out a dildo on stage. And, yeah, it's kind of critical simply because this now has become, X-rated madness now has become entertainment for rated PG. And it's acceptable now. Older people to let their guard down and paying. Let me tell you something straight up. I had a homegirl the other night went to the Jay-Z concert and she took pictures as the concert was going on and she was sending them to my phone. And I'm saying, like, you know, there's all kind of symbology, hidden stuff. It's really, really, really critical because I asked her, I said, well, how much was the ticket? She said $90. And she was in the nosebleed section. But I thought we didn't have no money, man. I thought the country was broke. I thought there was a recession. Can y'all talk to me? Where do you get $150, $200 for a ticket to go on to sit on the floor or stand on the floor in a seat in front of the stage? I guess those tickets must have been about $500.
They was going 60 and 100. You doing nothing in between. You get a $60 ticket and $100.
No, my homegirl paid $90 and she was in the nosebleed section. So anything in front of her had to be more.
Welfare give the ignorant people just enough money to budget that in the 1 month.
But they don't even get money no more. They get cards.
No, they get money on the cards.
How you know?
Cause I get
okay, take care. Hold on. We'll get back to that.
Yes, I do. I get mine from the Europeans.
We need to talk about pedophilia. Now, how many more cases got to come up before you realize that there's something going on with them taking the blood of children, as I mentioned 4 or 5 years ago? All right? So we went through this situation with the Catholic Church. I'm just going to the top of my head. I remember teachers were raping children and having sex with the school-age children. Right now, white people are going through a thing where every time I turn on the TV, some white woman to murder their little baby, left them in the lake somewhere, tied to a tree, under a car, in a box somewhere. What's my man's name in Atlanta? Eddie Wrong, what's his name?
Oh, God.
Something like that.
Bishop Eddie Wrong. When I first heard that, that was a ritual, initiation that he went through with taking off young boys. What else? What's the white group that went down into Haiti and rounded up all the little kids that was taking them on a plane and got busted.
Yeah.
These people are going after young children for some reason, and I'm telling y'all, like I told y'all years ago, they go through these rituals with young babies and they have to suck the blood out of the children. In most cases, some of them drink the blood. All right? We have to understand, don't write it off like Griff is crazy, he don't know what he's talking about. Look into these things. So I put it in the book. Umar Abdullah Johnson, I did an interview with him, he's in the book. When I was here last, I talked about the gay bomb, but the military developed chemical and biological warfare, and they're dropping a gay bomb. And the Chinese perfected it, according to the Department of Defense. We're almost at the end. I go back into the Tavistock Institute of Human Relations. I lay out diagrams. I talk about the people who actually made these covert operations, especially the mind control operations that they talk about in Jim Keith's book, Engineering Human Consciousness. Very real. Then I start to talk about why only a handful of people are selected to become millionaires and billionaires. All right? These people are hand selected. Some of these people have no talent whatsoever. We'll talk about that in a second. One of the labels that they use, Death Row, to neutralize conscious hip-hop. All right? I often ask people, what happened to Death Row that Suge Knight is not in the picture, Dre is not in the picture, some of the key players are not in the picture. Some of the officers that pretended to be working for the label, but they was really working for the government at that time, that murdered Tupac, Biggie, and some other rappers. This just wasn't them two. Right. There's a long list of people that they done murdered. All right? And they brought these people up on charges, and now they're in jail. But what happened to Death Row? Can anybody tell me?
I think they was trying to set up their own distribution or something.
That's one.
Right. The Jew lady bought that joint.
Correct. Did y'all know that?
Like $10 million. Something cheap.
Laura Levy, I think is her name. The Resurrection of Death Row. I think they said in the article that she purchased it for $26 million. She owned everything Death Row ever put out. Everything.
That's a closed bid. Plenty of them dudes got that bid.
Everything.
The problem is, are they
actually having, like, just like they have an agenda to slow us down? Like, for an example, China right now is economically winning as far as in economics, or at least that's what the media is saying. I know that when I did a little thing with my kids, and we went around and got like clothes, boots, sneakers, and different things, and looked at the tags, and like at least 90% of it was made from China, from pocketbooks to the spoons. Excuse me, brothers. Pocketbooks, spoons, everything. So I was just wondering if just like they have an agenda with us, do they actually have?
Can I be very, very honest with you? I don't know. I'm not Chinese. I'm just saying what the Chinese people are going through. The Chinese people never went through what we as a people went through.
Oh, absolutely.
They still have their names, language, culture, religion, history, something to connect them to. That even if they were going through something like this, they have something that centers them to bring them back to the center. All of that has been taken from us.
Right. Well, actually, that wasn't what I'm saying. Is as on a global scale, do they have like for like the Illuminati? Do they have an actual thing where they have something for each nationality to like get like a global dominational?
Well, white people are not only the people that's involved in doing this.
I'm an Aboriginal, and as an Aboriginal, I don't really see nationality. I see.
But can I just speak to that real quick? They don't give a fuck. If they walked in this room right now, they ain't gonna single you out. Oh, we can't kill you because you're Aboriginal.
This is the point that I'm saying. The point I'm saying is that a lot of the people that they're attacking. Every black person is an Aboriginal. That's why it's black people that work with them to destroy Aboriginal people. Every black person is not an Aboriginal person. Every person with dark skin is not.
Okay, but can I say something to you, brother? Every place that I've done research and studied, they don't give a fuck. They don't care. No, I'm saying that. Wait, hold on. That may mean something to you and to the brother in the 8th row back there, but that means nothing to these people. They have an agenda.
Right.
and they're gonna carry out their agenda. They don't give a fuck what you call yourself or you.
Right.
They don't care. They don't care whether or not y'all argue about black or African or Afro-American or they don't care.
But they know the difference. Let's say they know the difference though.
To help support the Apaches, that help support the white people, as far as you know, to round them up.
Right,
get on
exactly.
The train. After they got finished utilizing their help, they put them back on the train
Okay,
too. And told them
but
to
that's a
stay
very valuable point, simply because they will take somebody that's obviously on film, on YouTube, talking that whatever they're talking, and they will get them to round up everybody.
Right.
Are you following me? What we need you to do, we need you to go get all the Moors first. Everybody that's calling themselves Moor, let's get them first. Round their ass up and neutralize them, because there's an aspect of the brothers that I know that are Moors are militant.
Yeah.
They'll fuck some shit up.
Yeah.
The same with the Hebrew Israelites and some other people. So your ass is going first. Know that. Are you following me? But they'll get us to go get you.
Yeah.
All right? So quietness is kept. That's a very valuable point. But we need to kind of keep that on the hush so we can discuss that and iron that out. Why we got to tell them?
Right.
Now, I know y'all know that I wrote this book, but I ain't put everything I know in the motherfucking book. Don't switch my language. I'm just getting carried away, but hold on. You got me amped, bro. Hold on. Let me just turn the volume down. I didn't put everything I know in the book. Come on, y'all. Are you following me? There's some stuff that I found out about these people that I'm not going to put in the book.
Right.
Because I know when it comes that time for me to deal with them in the way that I know I might have to deal with them, I got to know who to deal with.
Right.
And how I got to deal with them.
That's right.
And that's very valuable because that's military science. That's like the brother was saying to one of the younger brothers in the karate class, and he says, I taught you everything you know. Shit, I ain't teach you everything I know. Are you following me? So I'll teach you a few techniques, but it's not everything I know. So the brother was kind of, young brother was trying to square it off on him. End up throwing one of them sloppy ass kick, and the teacher shot his ass. So I'm teaching you some things, so I'm saying, I'm in search of souls like mine, Peace. Thanks y'all for having me. I really appreciate that. Thank you, good brother.
Well, you know, like I said, we always enjoy Professor Griff coming out to do these lectures. You never know, that's yours. You never know what to expect from him. It's like he never knows what to expect from us as well. He comes because of y'all. He doesn't come because of me. He doesn't come because of Hakeem. He comes because he knows that it's going to be people that understand what he's saying and accept it and take it back and let everybody know what's going on. I guess we're a couple DVDs behind with putting his lectures out, but you know, we're moving forward. They will be available soon.
My number's
again,
on
the
this
book. Yes.
You pass them out.
Everybody hold your books up. How many people got books today?
I ain't good. You got nobody? So
okay. Yeah, y'all were the lucky ones to get the first one. There's a couple more back there, maybe. It's two. It's one behind your head.
He probably keeping it one.
Peace.
What?
Oh, give thanks, bro. I really appreciate it.
I was just trying to start up.
Get my card.
Yeah, I got it.
Get my number. What's your name?
Charles L.
Huh?
And I have something.
Queen, you put Queen on there. N-E-N.
Always enjoy you now.
Thank you, Lucky. Oh, Griff, by the way, this young man, his name is Lucky.
Lucky?
Yeah, Lucky works in the area, but he comes here to stay out of trouble.
Oh, okay.
You did a good job, though. That's right. And some blueberry smoked muffins.
and some cherry carrot chip cookies.
Oh, okay.
No,
I seen you on. Yeah, I was about to say, I seen you on what's the name?
Yeah.
On one of these DVDs that the brother sent me, man. He got some delicious meals.
Okay, man, I don't like talking little. Matter of fact, my homie called, my young boy Cody called me one time. He told me to make a cheesecake.
You sound like me.
I'm ready to
say, man.
All right, all right.
All right.
Yeah.
What's your name, man?
Rob.
Rob?
Yeah. I was doing so hard.
No, man, that's all right. You gotta challenge the speaker sometimes. I never expected to be a bed of roses, man. I only expected to be a bed of roses. You understand what I'm saying?
All right, I'm not going to come back.
All right. O-R-A.
Age ain't got nothing to do with it. It's about what you got up here. I'm on the same.
Thanks for that cookie.
My level was here.
He made them. Where'd he go? He made it.
Good job.
You made it?
Yes, that's his shot.
Well, you know anything good to a pregnant woman.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, sis. We appreciate that.
I snuck it. I snuck it one out. I put a note on there.
I have to go through now. I am around your age, so I understand.
What's your name?
My name is Arthur. A-R-T-H. I know you taste good. T-H. Thank you for everything.
Oh, give thanks.
Hopefully I'll be seeing you.
Inshallah, you will. Because I finished this other book, Metaphysical God's True Book. All right, brother.
Again.
Once again. Yes, sir. How you doing, good brother?
It's fine. This is my given name. The top one is the name that some brothers from the continent had from Europe. And I said, oh, you better know when you talk to me, because I'll correct you if you ain't right. And that's my name that given, but just the one to name it. But what I wanted to say was that in all that that you have said, in all that to recover.
We'll find that out in a second.
I would say that you would say, well, something like I'll use this as an example. This may be way off what you said, but in the final analysis, someone that everybody knows. This is, I know this is my friend. I mean, give them, let's say, a lift in terms of, for example, I'll use this to make sound wild because you say,
okay, because
Farrakhan is my friend. It don't have to be Farrakhan. It could say someone like that, or the late Dr. Ben. Oh, Dr. Ben is still there. He is my friend, or someone like that.
I was just up that way. Each one by there.
As you
I was just
deliver this thing.
Okay. No, I see what you're saying. I see what you mean. No, and you're right. All right, good, thanks.
I just want to say it's always a pleasure.
All right, it's good.
Man, you know, man, you don't even know.
Yeah, I gotta get.
Yes.
Peace and love, everybody. What's up? This Queenie representing Philadelphia. Professor Griff, y'all need to get in tune with his lectures. He's doing it to uplift the people, and people, we need to wake up because there's some things that we have no idea about, but we need to grasp the idea that we need to stick together and unify because things are going down. So I just want to big up Professor Griff for traveling these roads, the highways and the byways to come through to Philadelphia, show us some love. Shout out to Black and Noble, the best bookstore in Philadelphia. Love y'all. Peace.
He said a lot of positive things and stuff like that. Being a Muslim like myself and him, I think we have a lot of ideas that we need to put out to other people. One of the things that he really shook me up with, and that he said he seen and it shook him up, was the gay is the new black. May God have mercy on their souls. Thank you.
Hey guys, I just want to say thank you, Black and Nobel. This was very inspiring and empowering. I didn't know what to expect. It just made me realize that I'm definitely on the right track as an educator, And Professor Griff's book, guys, you definitely have to get that. It just opened up my eyes. Some of the things I did know, however, it just enlightened me. So I definitely had a great time, and my consciousness has been risen. Thank you.
My name is Elanaja. I'm here at the lecture, Black and Noble Bookstore, Professor Griff. First of all, I got to say that it's an honor to be here at Black and Noble Bookstore. I grew up right here on Erie Avenue, and at that time of my life, there was no Black and Noble Bookstore. All we had was the streets, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, there was a lot of stuff going on in the neighborhood, like Temple's Pass That program, a lot of great elders around us. But it's good to see that this particular location is here right now, giving out this information. Professor Griff is here. I was honored to produce chapter 15 of the book Analytics, Professor Griff's book. So this time of my life is just, you know, a magnificent time. A lot of things that I never thought, well, let me rearrange that. A lot of things that a lot of outer sources were attempting to convince me to think wouldn't take place actually are taking, you know, those things are taking place right now at this time of my life. So I'm very grateful, very appreciative. I'm very humble to the experience. Working to prepare to be a leader, you know, such as Professor Griff, and a mentor to many other people worldwide. So that's pretty much it. Signing out. One love. Peace.